This is a battle between Obelix of the TGR clan commanding Arverni and Atheas Glaigh of Agartha commanding Rome. They are both picking fairly strong factions in the beginning of this tournament. There are max 8 swords for both players, so probably see some more spears. Arverni is just going full Oathsworn with 5 Oathsworn, 3 Celtic warriors. Very, very strong sword line for Arverni. 5 Oathsworn, Gallic hunters and Celtic skirmishers in the center. Oathsworn strategist general, light horse, heavy horse, light horse, heavy horse. 3 Celtic warriors up front, and of course Levy Freeman. For Rome, we have 6 Evocati, few veteran legionaries, Socii Equites, 3 Socii Equites and 2 Equites. Socii Equites are heavy, so they are going to knock down infantry a lot easier than the medium Equites. They are great units. Then we have Gladiator Spears, Vigiles, Gladiator Spears. Gladiator Spears are going to absolutely wreck cavalry if they don't get charged by them. They have expert charge defense, but they don't really have the armor or the mass to stand up to cavalry charges. Still, these light horse and heavy horse need to be really careful around the gladiator spears. So Arverni moving up through the forest here. It's sort of good for Arverni because, well, it's not good for Arverni in this case because Arverni needs to get great charges off, and they're not going to get great charges off in the forest. They're going to reduce the effectiveness of their heavy horse units, of their skirmishers, and since there are no skirmishers for Rome, Arverni should just move out of this forest as quickly as possible. No reason to stay in there, it's just going to reduce the effectiveness of the Arverni army. But both players need to be very aware of their stamina here, because this is a cold map, it's a winter map, so units are going to fatigue more quickly and they're going to recover from fatigue slower. So a lot of running being done by Rome here. Probably won't matter because before the engagement starts, Rome will have a lot of time to rest its units. Some light maneuvering going on here with the Equites up front. The Evocati are going to do well in prolonged engagements against Oathsworn, but because the Evocati have such high melee attack that they're going to be able to get a lot of hits in on the Oathsworn. But if they get charged by the Oathsworn, if the Oathsworn get a clean charge, it's going to be very difficult for them to do well. Cheeky Levy Freeman being ballsy as hell, just moving up here towards the Equites. Gladiator Spears moving up to match the Levy Freeman, and the Levy Freeman are pulling back. So nice and wide deployment here by the Roman player. He's going to have spear support on the flanks together with cavalry, and the Oathsworn need to get past these cavalry units in order to get good charges off on the main line of Rome. So like many barbarian armies, this Arverni army by Obelix is going to live and die by the charge. If they get great charges against the Evocati line, the veteran legionary line, the veteran legionary line is just going to crumble. But there are so many good sub-elite swords on the field for Rome that the 5 Oathsworn are going to be matched up against 5 units. And then the flanks, the Celtic warrior flanks and the Celtic warrior center are going to lose very quickly to veteran legionaries and to Evocati cohorts. So I think Arverni needs to make good use of its skirmishers to take care of cavalry, possibly do some damage before the main engagement starts. Here we have the Celtic skirmishers almost in range of the Equites now. This would be a great engagement for Celtic warriors up against these gladiator spears. Levy Freeman moving in. Equites eating javelins. Levy Freeman should get some nice volleys off now. There we go. Nice volley. Light horse coming in to sort of stop the charge of the Equites and tie down these units. But the light horse is going to die super quickly if the light horse aren't pulled out. But look at the Equites just dropping quickly. Nicely done here in getting the Equites into the Celtic warriors here. It's going to mean that the Celtic skirmishers have to reform and they're not able to fire as effectively. So this is a bad engagement for Arverni on the flanks here. The Equites are trying to push through, but this is just a straight up pull through. I mean, these Celtic warriors were not knocked down. There are just move orders being given to get into the Celtic skirmishers. So don't know how that is going to get ruled, but maybe it won't matter. Celtic warriors getting a nice charge off on the Agartha cohort, but then they're unsupported, so they're going to get recharged by Agartha cohort here after the Agartha cohort throw their javelins. Again, Equites getting into Celtic skirmishers, but they're going to get countercharged by Heavy Horse. The Heavy Horse need to be super careful because there are gladiator spears nearby. Socia Equites is going to lose on the charge to the Heavy Horse, and this Light Horse was left in for way too long. But the Equites were taken off the field, and now the Celtic warriors are going to crash in and destroy Vigiles and gladiator spears probably. The Celtic skirmishers are free to do more damage now. The veteran legionaries are losing to Oathsworn. These Celtic warriors are of course losing to Agartha and to another unit of Agartha. Celtic skirmishers here getting ganged up on. This is not a good engagement for the Heavy Horse because of these gladiator spears. Light Horse is not getting pulled out. Now it's getting pulled out, chasing after the Socia Equites, disengaging with the Heavy Horse, trying to get the Oathsworn in. But Rome is doing a good job in kiting away and picking the engagements. So this Oathsworn is wrecking the veteran legionaries, but the veteran legionaries are holding for so long that the Oathsworn are going to get rear charged here by Agartha. So this is quickly turning into a bad engagement for Arverni, just because Rome is doing a great job in picking away the skirmishers of Arverni and in picking its engagements, going up 2 against 1 on Oathsworn, leaving the Agartha cohort here, just firing into the backs of the Oathsworn. So very nicely done here by Rome. And these 2 Oathsworn here now, they are up against 4 Roman units, and these Roman units are going to be able to just turn around and they're going to defeat the Oathsworn. Over here as well, Rome doing decently well. Gladiator spears, lots of kills, going to move in and finish off these Light Horse and these Heavy Horse. The Celtic skirmishers being chased away by the Socia Equites, so the Celtic skirmishers were probably there as sort of anti-elephant units. General managed to win here against Agartha in the center. Agartha got charged by Oathsworn, but there are more Roman units coming in. There always seem to be more Roman units coming into support. Over here as well, bits of a miss-micro by Rome in not supporting this fight, but now he's supporting the fight, so these Oathsworn are going to go down super quickly to the Agartha and the veteran legionaries. In this engagement though, there are a lot of Arverni units moving into support. These Oathsworn are doing well. Agartha cohort getting charged frontally, but popping the headhunt that early might actually have broken the charge for the Oathsworn. Heavy Horse coming in, could do a lot of damage with rear charging here. Getting some javelins thrown after them. Getting a nice charge here on the Agartha cohort. There is a lot of Rome left on the battlefield. If Arverni is able to use its Oathsworn to finish off these units one by one, then it's possible for Arverni to pull this one out, but it's going to be super hard at this point because there is a lot of Roman strength left on the battlefield. The skirmishers, some Celtic skirmishers alive in the woods over here. The Socia Equites are going to lose to the Heavy Horse probably, and the Oathsworn are holding out against the Agartha cohort, but there are just so many units left for Rome. And Legatus getting charged here by Heavy Horse. He's not going to like that. Attacked in the rear, he's trying to pull away, but that's going to damage him even more. Still pulling away towards the safety of this Agartha cohort, which the Heavy Horse really need to pull away from. The general here is going to headhunt strategist general. Is going to defeat the Agartha cohort very comfortably. This Heavy Horse is doing a great job in pulling away these units for Rome, so they're not able to support the main fight here. But you can see how well the veteran legionaries are grinding it out against the Oathsworn in the long run. Oathsworn general, a lot of kills moving in. Rear charge against the Oathsworn over here. But these Agartha are also going to get rear charged by Oathsworn, so they're not going to like that much. But sort of a weird formation here by the Oathsworn. They are spread out all across the field. So they might be able to take care of the Legatus, but it's going to be difficult. Rare charge by Heavy Horse here. This Heavy Horse is going to be able to do a lot of damage on the charge against these engaged units of Agartha. And now this is looking better for Arverni, because Arverni has Heavy Horse left on the field, has some skirmishers left on the field. The Roman cavalry is off the field, with one exception, the Legatus. So if Obelix keeps doing this with the rear charges here, then he might do very, very well indeed. Gladiator Spears are exhausted. They're going to get a great charge on the Oathsworn here. Good charge bonus with the Gladiator Spears. Then the Gladiator Spears are going to get rear charged themselves. Obelix needs to pull out his Heavy Horse right away, because they're going to get wrecked by Gladiator Spears in a prolonged engagement. Over here, the Oathsworn General still tanking up the kills. Nice charge by Celtic Warriors into the Vigilates. The Vigilates are off the field. But the Heavy Horse wasn't pulled out, so now the Heavy Horse are losing. But the Gladiator Spearmen are also losing a lot of men to these Oathsworn. Heavy Horse getting stopped, but not before getting into the Veteran Legionaries and probably breaking them due to being attacked in the rear. Celtic Warriors finishing off the Vigilates. And now this is all of a sudden not looking great for Rome. There are still a lot of Legionaries left on the field. The Legatus is still alive. But this Agartha cohort is attacked in the rear by Oathsworn, so the Oathsworn just tanking up the kills. And Oathsworn getting rear charged by Gladiator Spears again, but this Oathsworn unit holding strong. The combat is even. It is in shield wall, which is probably a mistake at this point. Agartha cohort getting ganged up on by two Oathsworn units. Celtic skirmishers running around. I don't know if they have expended all of their ammunition. Judging by their kills, they probably have. Celtic Warriors moving in. A rear charge from Celtic Warriors at this point is going to be devastating, breaking the Agartha cohort. This Agartha cohort is breaking, and the Gladiator Spears won't be able to do much now. The General of Rome recently died. The Agartha cohort is going to get ganged up on by everything that Arverni has left. So, although the Roman player did play well here, the strength of the Oathsworn and the Heavy Horse carried the day for Arverni. 409 kills on the Oathsworn General of Arverni. Amazing, very good use of Oathsworn here. They got nice kills. Levi Freeman with 105 kills, that's also very good. So, although the Roman units overall did well, like Agartha cohort with 200 kills, these Gladiator Spears did very well indeed. The Oathsworn just proved too much to deal with by Rome, and I think that for Rome, and I think that was due to the fact that Obelix used his Heavy Horse very well in pulling away these Agartha from the main engagement, so he could finish it off with his Oathsworn, because there was no way he would have been able to stand up to multiple rear charges from Agartha and Veteran Legionaries in those engagements. So nicely done by Obelix. Well played to both players. Congratulations on advancing to the next round, and strength and honor.